is the color of flowers in springtime. Red, the color of blood through my veins. Blue is the color of when you were leaving. Tell me, let me know what you feel inside. 'Cause you don't know me by name. You don't know me by name. It's like you don't know me by name anymore. Some people say that the path you are choosing only leads to where you wanna go. Some people say you forgive and forget, but tell me, let me know what you feel inside. 'Cause you don't know me by name. You don't know me by name. It's like you don't know me by name anymore. Blue is the color of when you were leaving. Tell me, let me know what you feel inside. 'Cause you don't know me by name. You don't know me by name. It's like you don't know me by name. You don't know me by name. It's like you don't know me by name
You're a lonely sailor, and your soul is made of wind and rain, doubts and blame. I'm a weary pirate, and my heart is made of dust and grain, and spoiled champagne. I've got troubles, I've got sins, I'm my worst enemy, but I've still got a lot to give. So I said, hey, don't you wanna come and run away with me? Hey, won't you come, and say by chance, don't you want a man who fully understands a sailor's heart, a sailor's heart. You're a born survivor, and you'll never find yourself in love. You're wise enough. I got troubles, I got sins, I'm my worst enemy, but I still got a lot to give. So I said, hey, don't you wanna come and run away with me? Hey, won't you come, and say by chance, don't you want a man who fully understands a sailor's heart, a sailor's heart. don't you wanna come? Come and run away with me. Hey, won't you come? Won't you come? And say by chance, don't you want a man who fully understands, who fully understands. So I said, hey, don't you wanna come? Come and run away with me. Hey, won't you come? Won't you come? And say by chance, don't you want a man who fully understands? A sailor's heart, a sailor's heart.
She said I won't be back in a while. Don't wait. Already packed her bags, called the cab, made space. And she said I won't answer if you call me when you're lonely. I guess I let her go. Never mind, it's too late. But I can't believe I let you slip. I think about it 7 days a week, and this just can't be how it's supposed to end up. It's not enough. And maybe time will make you fade, but I don't know if I'm ready to just let you go away like my friends think I should. Cause what if I just wanna be with you? I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. Honestly, I can't remember if you love me, or maybe I'm just feeling lonely. I don't know. Just let her go. She got herself a guy, and he's good. No, he's great. Everything she wanted packed behind the pretty face. But I kinda hope he breaks her heart into little pieces and let me pick them all back up. But I can't believe I let you slip. I think about it 7 days a week, and this just can't be how it's supposed to end up. Cause what if you should really be with me? I wonder what the hell you didn't see. Honestly, I can't believe if I love you, but it's
Please take a step into the river where you will find peace. Where you go through the storm, I will hold you, keep you warm. When you stay in the night, I will shelter, I will fight. Oh, yeah. I will hold you, keep you warm. When you stay in the night, I will shelter, I will fight, I will fight.
斜めになこういうふうに入れる方がいい。ボンドがな邪魔なところに使うようにしてな。でもこっちに当ててくれたらいいわ。入れるのが入れんでくるだけ。別に水道とも構わないからこっちはここに下着が来るから隠れるから。また向こう入ってるね。入っとるかだけギュッと確認しといて、それが入ってるそれ入った。でもうビスが男がある高いに、この別にこの合板でも効くは効くけど、ちょっと外してもらったら35の幅で入っとる境に、でこの辺を端っこに打ったらいいし。これがちょっとコソッと入ったらこれでいける。そのままコソッと押して握る。いけるよね。大丈夫やってみ。なるべく奥を打つ意識で、だからコソッと入れといて、もうそれぐらいでいったらいい。線のところだけちょっと怖いから、ちょっと離しといて、別に合板に止まってもいいから。
あ、もうできてる。
いや、切るだけやから。断熱入れより面白いでしょ。
そうですね。
断熱入れより面白い。
断熱入れるの結構好きなの。好き。
そうなんですね。あるもんな、もうああいう仕事は性格が出るな。
あ、そうですか。
お客さんも自分でしはる人とかで、
はいはい。
いろいろある。指導者の方がすごいけどね。頭切れかな。
ありがとうございます。
Middle of the road is just a feeling of a distant melody unknown. I was doing fine. I minded my own business till the day you took me home. You came into my life like a sweet embrace, swept me off my feet and made me whole again. You came in my life, I wanna see your face. Never will I be the same again. Well, I thought I knew what life was all about. That song had already been sung. I was going on, still minding my own business. Never knew that life had just begun. You came into my life like a sweet embrace, swept me off my feet and made me whole again. You came in my life, I wanna see your face. Never will I be the same again. I wanna see your face again, oh let me see your face again. I'm far from being satisfied yet. I have to see your face again, oh let me see your face again, and take me to the place we first met. You came into my life like a sweet embrace, swept me off my feet and made me whole again. You came in my life, I wanna see your face. Never will I be the same again. Never will I be the same again.
すがきっちりですね。きっちり。
まあでも余裕別に全然隠れるとこなんで。そっち別に出てても大丈夫ですよ。はい。あ、そこ触ってみたな。今な、これついとって。大丈夫。もうちょっとこっち送って送れへんか。こっちへ。
こっち。
うん。あ、いいですね。もうちょっと待って。もうちょっと。もうちょっと。はい。
forgot